Messy family. Welcome back to the channel. Now listen, this story time is hectic. Imagine being a bride and it's your wedding day. The day you're supposed to enjoy, it's supposed to be the most beautiful day of your life. And instead, you are struck across the face, not once, but twice. And here's the kicker. It was by the groom's best friend.
What would you do, babe, if somebody did that to me?
That is crazy. I couldn't even imagine that type of situation. Somebody put their hands on your wife, not once, but twice. I got to know what the husband did in this situation. Let's check out this story time.
Hi, my name is Alexandra and my wedding just passed by, and this is a story on how my husband's friend slapped me across the face twice on our wedding day. And yes, it was a girl. So jumping into the story, to preface, originally she had RSVP'd that she was not coming, and my husband was a little taken aback by this because he had always assumed that they were really good friends. But then when she said that she wasn't coming to his wedding because she lived in Copenhagen and it was 3 hours away, he was taken aback and a little hurt because he had thought that they were initially closer than that because of their friend group. And he had asked me, oh, do you think you would miss your best friend's wedding? And I said, no. And I told him, maybe you guys are not as close as you think. To me, this was not an issue because this girl had always given me weird energy. Let me just say that. And I always wanted to keep her at arm's length because I always felt that sometimes she would act out and was essentially a pick-me. Anyways, a few weeks passed by, and shortly before our wedding, she suddenly can make it, and then she asks, on top of that, if she can bring a +1. My husband and I discussed it, and I said I'm not entirely confident giving her a +1 because not only is that an extra mouth to feed, but she has made it a point to say she loves hooking up with men that are really, really not good men. And I don't want to feed someone who's not a good man. And so my husband put a boundary with her and said, if it's just one of your hookups, absolutely not. But if it's a serious boyfriend, yes, you can bring him. She then said it was a serious boyfriend. So the day of our wedding, she comes with her boyfriend. He's a great guy, super sweet, but she wasn't really outwardly talking to me a lot. His other friends in the same friend group, lovely people. I absolutely love them. However, when it's time for our first dance, I catch her gaze a few times and she's staring at me kind of like that. And in Spanish, we call it the mal de ojo, but instantly I was like, these vibes are off. But it was just for a few brief seconds, and I go back to enjoying my husband during our first dance. The moment our first dance concludes, she then comes right over to me and yanks me by my arms and then says, let's dance. Okay, girl, I guess let's dance. So we're dancing on the dance floor. People are joining us, and she's being a little assertive with her dance moves and grabbing my arms and whatnot. And I can't help but feel like it was slightly aggressive. So
if we're getting married, it shouldn't bother you who's in attendance, as long as it's just me and you. And the fact she keeps saying her husband was so taken back that this female wasn't going to be there, I feel like that would bother me in a sense, because I wouldn't care if it was just me and you get in a room getting married. It's about us making vows to each other, not who's all in attendance.
I get it. I understand that. I think where she should have been put her foot down is them two having that close relationship for so long.
Right.
Because if she always had this issue with this woman of feeling like I feel like she think that she likes her man.
Right.
If she feels like she's a pick-me, that's like every time he must be running to her with issues and she's like, oh, I wouldn't do that or something like that. And she's known to not really be with men. She has bad choice with men. So she's always like,
I'm trying respectfully to kind of move away from her and dance with my friends. But then out of nowhere, this girl says, let's go take some shots, tequila. And so I go, oh, okay, let's go take some shots. So we go right over to the bar. The bartender's right in front of me, and she orders tequila shots for us. Mind you, I'm the literal bride. I have my veil on, my white dress. I'm the literal bride, okay? And for a brief moment, because I'm the bride, people are calling your name all day long. I hear someone from the right of me call my name. I briefly turn for a few seconds, and out of nowhere, I feel a hand slap me to my left cheek. I'm taken aback. I'm trying to process what just happened. And next thing you know, I feel a lighter, but still a slap across my right cheek. So boom, boom, right? And I look at her and she's laughing and she goes, the shots are ready. I could feel the heat emitting from my body. I feel like there was no sound for a second and I feel myself getting hot. And I wanted to get physical, but instantly I told myself, this girl wants attention. If I fight her, she's gonna take attention from my wedding day. And I know that if I give her attention, then she's gonna get what she wants essentially. So I take my shot and instantly I book it straight to the door. I find my little sister who's outside, minding her own business. The moment I tell my sister, she's inside. My sister's looking for her. I end up telling my husband. My husband was a little, having fun, drinking. The moment I tell him, he like sobered up, gets super serious, and I beg him, please do not say anything until after our wedding. Because if we make a scene now, then it's gonna give her attention. And that's something that I'm just not gonna do. Let's just say my husband ended up handling it because he could not wait. Because he said, what do you mean someone touched my bride? Secondly, don't worry about it because some of my girlfriends ended up finding out. My best friend's Thea ended up tripping her and spilling a drink right on her. People were not being nice to her, and she ended up crying. So that's the story on how one of my husband's gal pals slapped me across the face on my wedding day.
The way she would have had to be escorted out of the wedding immediately. No way you're still partaking in this wedding ceremony. You're out of here. This is why you have security, because what? You're gonna go, then she still takes a shot with her. No, that is not what's happening.
I don't think that was random at all. I think some people just I think that's a sign of insecurity. And I feel like she's sizing them up. With guys, I feel like I was always taught never wrestle with guys growing up. Scratch each other, but she's doing it at a less aggressive way. She's just trying to get her hands on her, see if she can work with this girl in a sense. If I had to beat this girl up, let me see what I can do with her. And if you think people don't do that, you're a fool. People were literally trying to size you up physically by putting their hands on you. The slap across the face had to be some type of build-up tension that she tried to play it off. I'm drunk, slap.
Sometimes it takes people to have liquid courage.
I feel like the husband did the right thing though at the same time, because I was thinking maybe they had some things going on, or because why would you initially let somebody slap your wife across the face? But to see how he handled it, I'm happy I kept that thought to myself, because it shows that maybe in his eyes they are friends, but in her eyes maybe she wants a little more. That's why I say guys and girls can't be friends when the girl is, or when the person, whoever the other person, is single. How can I have a girlfriend and be in a relationship, about to get married, and this girl is known to not have any men in her life, always rotating doors? That's when I'd be like, boys and women and men can't be friends, because it's gonna always be some type of tension. Eventually he gonna cut that off anyway. So you can be friends for a little bit. It might seem like it right now, but when things start to get serious in your relationship, those little girl-boy friendships, that shit die. Unless it's true, real friendship.
Maybe it's not even the man, but just like you said, just his wife in general. How she's probably more envious that this girl's about to be married for the rest of her life.
Right.
And she's, like you said, is rotating men.
Right, she just insecure. I think she more just salty. But those reactions was like, I don't know, it's just like intuitive thoughts. Why did you slap her? In her mind, she just probably wanted to put her hands on her so bad that she couldn't.
This was her opportunity.
That liquor courage really do be pushing you over the edge to do some shit you wouldn't do if you was sober.
And not one slap, but two.
Two slaps is crazy.
Beginning, she was just like, she wasn't gonna come to the wedding at first. It was probably because she felt some type of way. And she was just like, you know what, I shouldn't go. But then changed her mind.
Right.
Just for this to happen.
But what do y'all think, Messy Family? How do you not agree with the bride? The girl was 100% wrong, but what do y'all think that was? Let me know in the comment section below.